We've just pulled into Balumba Creek Road. It's about an hour and a half out of Brisbane, maybe just a tad longer depending on the traffic. Sites must be pre-booked, which we've done all that. And we're heading now down the road to the start of our hike. Well, this is fairly well documented here, day use entry area. And there's a sign here that says Great Walk entry. Yes, so there is one more creek crossing just as you get into this day area. There we go. We've got a creek crossing which looks the biggest out of the lot, I would say. There is a pipe. Balumba Creek area number 2. And being a Sunday, 4-wheel drives everywhere. So hopefully we'll be able to find a parking spot that will work for us.
Nope. One.
Left one just for us. So we've made it to the start of the track. This is the Conondale Great Walk entrance. This time, Joe's with me. So 4-day hike right in front of us. It's going to be a good one, I'd say. It'll be interesting. We'll keep you posted. We'll take you around the whole track so that you can see exactly what it is, how it works. We always find it difficult to find good videos on understanding what the whole track is about. So when we make these videos, that's what we try and do. This is something that we'd never thought we'd be doing, and yet with the right changes in lifestyle, we're out there doing it, and it's fun too. So we'll take you through all that as we move through our walk. See you on the walk. There's a wonderful information board here. That's the track that we're doing. It's a really nice entrance, nice stairs. We've got our car parked just there, but there's the stairs. And off we go. Let's go, Joe.
The bread knife.
Alright, here we go. The direction of our camp, which is Conondale Camp, is the first one. There we go. So, one of the issues we've already had right up front, there's no sign as you enter the track that says Wongai Walkers Camp. This is where we want to go to. So I've just pulled up and had a look at the map. There is definitely only one way in and one way out according to the map. So we should have a veer off to the left somewhere here. We're only not even a kilometre into it. No, we're not. We're down by the water already. There you go, there's your first bathing spot. You want to stop and jump in already. The water looks pretty clean. Okay, well, we've made it to the Balumba Creek camping area. The creek's all dried up. That's the sort of walk it was through this lovely forest. We're a kilometre from the gold mine. Strangler Can 1.4, Artist Cascades 3.8. That's where we're heading. It's been relatively flat, nice easy walk next to a creek for a part of the way. Very clean water. The front part of this walk, I would call this easy at this stage. There's nothing hard about it. So that's the circuit for the gold mine. We sort of bypassed it. But apparently you get there and it's locked off, and Joanne said she's not interested in seeing it, so happy wife, happy life. We're going to the Artist Cascades. Apparently it's very nice there. See what the Strangler Can is all about, 430 metres. And Artist Cascades, when we get there, we might have a bit of a break, sit down, whatever. Oh, Joe's worried. Experienced walkers only beyond this point.
Might have to leave you behind.
I'll leave me behind, okay. Well, off we go. Well, we've come to a spot. It says Strangler Can. So, we're going in? Come
I
on.
have no idea what's there.
It's not far.
How do you know?
Because it said 420 metres back there and we've walked about that. Joe just discovered this little tiny sign, Strangler Can, 60 metres. We have arrived at the Strangler Can. Really interesting place. Yep. I'm going to turn around and show you what the fuss is all about. There it is. Look at that. Someone actually built this thing and there's a tree right on top. If you're down this way, it's worth the 60 metres. You come up here and go, wow, check it out. And we're back out, back on track, going to the Cascades. We have come to a creek, which is dry, but I'd say when it's raining, it'd be pretty hard to cross. It looks like it would be flowing pretty quickly here. Well, look at all this stuff. So I'm not sure about doing this track when it's raining. Could be interesting. There's slight drops and climbs, but nothing too difficult. We're on a little bit of a climb now, but it's still mainly in this sort of wet forest, rainforest type walk. So we're what, 3.5 k's into it. Cascades, 2 kilometres, and our camp for tonight is 7.5 k's. And Joe's gone like crazy up there, so I better keep up with her. 5.2 k's into it. We've hit a little bit of a climb, the first bigger one. We're up quite high, I can still hear the creek down the bottom. But yeah, this is the first sort of lengthy climb. So I don't know, I didn't look, but it's probably a good 300 metres now in an upward direction. It's not too steep. And Joe's doing really well, which is great. And what goes up must come down. There's even some stairs here, someone made. Oh, we're coming down. So, recovery time. The track's sort of dug into the side of the mountains. It's quite steep down there. It's not a wide track. It's very walkable. So 6 k's into it. I can hear the Cascades down up there, but it's a pretty steep track here. Someone's made some steps here. It's a nice thing about these sort of tracks. People actually do look after them. If someone does, I'm thankful for that. We've got a sign here for your safety. Do not attempt creek crossing during floods or after heavy rain. Take care on slippery rocks. Your safety is our concern, but your responsibility. Nice. So, there we go. We have arrived at the Cascades. Let's go. Oh, there's some people here even. I suppose it is Sunday. Artists Cascades. Oh, nice. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. So, what do you reckon?
Cold.
Cold. A nice spot. Look at that. Yeah, when you stop it can be cold. Because you've got a bit of sweat happening. The water is brilliantly clean. We'll have a look. You can see all the way down into the water. It's like glass. It's pretty cold, but really nice. Alright, well, Joey's getting serious. So Wongai Walkers Camp, that will be a steep part of the track here. And being a steep part of the track, we need a lot of energy. We've just had some nuts, and Yes, so that should be good for us. We want to get to camp well before sunset, so we've left ourselves plenty of time, so we're not stressed. We've got plenty of water on board. I'm suspecting Joe will be taking off that jacket pretty soon. So we found where we need to go. You keep following the creek on the other side. Someone else here walked up here. But it's not really clear what to do at the creek, but just keep following the creek. Away from where you come, past the cascades, and you'll find the track. Great walk. Track beyond this point is only suitable for experienced, self-sufficient bushwalkers. Joe?
Bushwalkers.
Joe?
Yeah.
That's us. 5.4k, self-sufficient bushwalkers with a level of fitness. Joe? That's us. Be prepared for steep, unstable terrain. It's isolated, and help can be hours away. I think we're prepared. Turn back now if you're not. Oh, here we are. EPIRB, emergency position indicating radio beacon. We've got one of those, personal locator beacon. So the deal is, if you're on this walk and we don't have one of those, and they have to come and rescue you, you pay for the rescue.
Good job though.
So, off came the jacket. Literally 3 minutes into it.
Smart ass.
She'll learn to listen one day.
It was cold down there.
Yeah, but up here it's hot. So, just to let you know, whenever we stop like this to take jackets off, have a quick look at something, I'm keeping my watch running so that it takes into account all the stops that we've got. The only thing that I am excluding is our long stops, like lunch stops. So I put my watch in pause there. So everything you see statistically on this walk will be including all stops, all the touristy stuff and everything else. That'll give you an idea of how long without lunches you can expect to walk if you're taking it at a fairly relaxed pace and seeing everything. I think that the worst part of it's over, so it's not a really long climb. It is fairly steepish. I'm guessing it'll sort of be an upgrade for a little while, and then it flattens out and actually drops towards the camp. I think the bush turkey frightened you, Joe. Just get on up there. There he is. Little critter. Well, now that we've climbed up on the ridge, the vegetation is changing a lot. It's gone from this rainforest feel to not such a rainforest feel now. Much higher. It's quite a deal warmer up here. There's no question about that. So, like I said, I think the worst of the climb was over. That was what they call a category 4 track. So a lot of things come into that. Steepness, and they say experience of the walkers, which probably translates to the equipment that you've got and that sort of stuff. And if someone's not fit, it'd be very hard to do for someone even not carrying anything, let alone carrying 15 kilos like Joe's got, and I've got about 22. So yeah, you know, I guess from that respect, it's right. If you've done this before, it's not that hard. It's quite a nice walk, a bit of a climb, still going up. But what are we in now? 7.5 k's. So, yeah, you know, it's up, but it's not that badly up. Come up to the top, it sort of all seems to even out. And it looks like we have done the hard bit. So that was the category 4 track, and now we've got around I don't know, 3 k's to camp, just under. We've come up to this beautiful spot. We're up pretty high. There's the mountains on the other side. We have just spotted a beautiful waterfall. There it is, we can just hear it from here. We've come to a major creek crossing which is dry. There's a little bit of water there. And there's some things here. What's it say?
We get to the falls.
Waterfalls, 1.5 k's. And our camp is 3.5 k's away.
Oh
So
dear.
that's where it's at. So where our car is, according to this, it's 7.5 k's. According to my iWatch, it's 8.81 k's, minus 120 metres for that little diversion that we did. So one of these is wrong. I'm not sure which one, but I suspect with a GPS mine should be accurate, but then so should theirs. So there is some discrepancy.
I'm counting every metre.
So we've been walking for quite a long time along the top of the mountain here, the ridge. There's some spectacular views to the right, which is sort of pretty hard to see on the camera, I suppose. I'll zoom in, there we go. Beautiful views. So we've climbed up all the way from the bottom all the way up here. And now it's this sort of track, it's quite an easy walk. And from what I observed on the map, this is how it should be all the way to Wongai. So, which, by the way, is just on 2 k's away. Yeah, oh, Joe just pointed out, that is the top of the mountain. Yep, so we're at the 10k mark. Now, according to that sign down there, it was 3.5k to the camp. And Waterfalls were 1.5k away. According to my Apple Watch, we've got 2 k's left to get to camp, and there's no waterfalls here. So we'll see what it shows me at camp, what the kilometres are, but something is not adding up here. It's either my Apple GPS system or their signage, or maybe a combination of both, who knows, we'll work it out. Okay, so we've come to a point. There is a T intersection, no give way sign, but a great walk with a straight arrow saying go up there, but this looks like a fire trail, so I'm guessing that we need to follow the track across here.
Yeah, there's no sign.
That looks like a fire trail. Through there I can hear some waterfalls. So there are waterfalls, just the meters don't add up exactly. I can hear the waterfalls down there, so I'm guessing back there where the fire trail was, that goes straight down to the waterfalls. They sound pretty small from here. I can sort of see them from here. And just water's trickling across rock, so we're not really going to go down there. So yeah, maybe I can zoom in and you can have a look. There you go. A bit shaky, but you can just see the water trickling in the middle of the trees there. Funnily enough, just down the road, a few metres, we come to this. So, Waterfalls Falls 200 metres, car park 1.3 metres, and Wongai Walkers Camp 2.2 kilometres. So their calculations are wrong, because from that other post it calculated differently. So, Joe, your decision, falls or camp?
Yeah. What time is that?
That's a very good point. So the time is 3:29,
Camp. Right.
means 2.2 k's, 4 o'clock will be there easily. I think Joe made the right decision. It's more like a trickling brook, maybe with slight falls. And we're back in a really cool rainforest. Really nice. The temperature difference is striking. Palms everywhere. Really beautiful spot. And the track here is really good because there's a car park just up the road. There's 2 points where you can get off this track and get picked up, and this is one of them. Oh, we came across this. Look at that water. It's really dark. I'm going to go for a walk down there and have a look. Looks interesting. Oh, we've even got a barrier here. It looks like debris, so I checked these stairs out. Wow. Alright. Here we go. The water's actually really clean. I think it's just really deep.
No, the rocks are
Water depth is variable and unpredictable.
there's like black something on the rocks.
But the water's really clean. Like you can see through it, and then there's falls like that, which are really nice. We've even got a bridge here. Wow. So we must be very close to the car park now, I would say. This is certainly a very well trodden path. There's a T in the track. I would say that goes down to the car park down there, but we're going up to the walkers camp. Joe said, oh my goodness, we've actually got a road. This is the pickup spot that I was talking about. This says 1k to the camp, and watch out for vehicles. It's certainly going downhill now very quickly. Before we know it, we'll be setting up camp. So this is my take. Everything's wrong. The map says 12. My Apple Watch says 12.6 we've done, minus 120. And we've certainly passed the 1.2 Ks and the 1 Ks that they had on those posts. So 100 metres, so definitely wrong. No question about that. That's where we're going tomorrow. But yeah, there's something wrong there. Anyway, 100 metres, Joe. According to that, assuming that it's right.
Liars, pack of liars.
There it is. We've arrived. We're in camp. So, Conondale Walkers Camp. Here we are. Well, we made it.
Woo! We made it.
There's our camping spot. Fantastic, eh? So,
Table.
that was, according to my watch, 12.71 Ks. So things don't add up. Essentially the map says 12 Ks, we did 12.7. According to their signs it's 12.5. So there's a 200 metre discrepancy. It's not too bad, but it's certainly not exact. Camp set up, the X-bed tent. I had a little bit of trouble because I took the fly off it totally the other day. There's a couple of bits that were wrong, so we wasted about half an hour figuring it out. Now I know. That's why it's good to get to camp early. Joe, how are you feeling?
Pooped.
12.7 Ks today. We did 12.8, something like that. So that was good. Tomorrow is 17 Ks. But we had a big climb today. The hardest part of the track was done today. Time for dinner, so we're going to have some dinner. I'm going to set up the stove, and then we'll probably be ready to crash. It's going to be a good night's sleep. So there's the MSR stove cooking with gas. Joe selected some unprocessed food with the package. Okay, so let's have a look at what we've done. So we are at Conondale Walkers Camp. So that was 12.8 Ks for us. So you'll see up here, actually I was wrong. You know what they say section 1 is? 11 Ks.
Yeah, that's what I knew. So how do we make 12.8?
Well, something's wrong. Either the map or something's not right.
So tomorrow might actually be like 50.
So my watch was actually probably pretty accurate compared to the signs. I'd say that this map is miscalculated, but then they had their stops miscalculated by 300 or 400 metres as well a lot of the time, so I didn't quite understand that. That was the Artist Cascades there, and today we are at Wongai Camp, right there. According to the map, tomorrow is 17 k's. Now the interesting thing is, here we go, 17 k's. The interesting thing is that the sign said 17 k's as well, so maybe that's right. And we will end up tomorrow at Tallwood Walkers Camp. Well, we've just had breakfast, just starting to pack things up. There's our bits and pieces. There's our tent. The pegs are out already. We're just trying to dry little bits and pieces on it. And so we've had our first day and Joe's first overnight stay on a hike. How was it?
Uneventful.
Uneventful, but you've done it for the first time. And you know, the Diabetic Health Clinic program, we have people doing things for the first time in their life, and it's important to actually do those things, especially when you know that they're going to be good for you. Breaking the pain barrier. Joe probably never thought she would hike with a backpack on for 12 k's. 12.5 it turned out to yesterday. So today's 17 k's, another big day. But we've done the tough part of the journey, the big climb, so it shouldn't be that hard anymore. And I've got a little sneaking suspicion that even though Joe's done this for the first time, I've done it before, so it's great to have her with me. But I've got this sneaking suspicion that she's going to learn to love doing this. And that's the thing, you know, we think that we have to do things a certain way, and that's all we can see. And when we experience other things and other ways of doing things, we often learn to grow to love those things. So we've learnt, or we're learning to hike and enjoying that. We've changed our lifestyles. We're enjoying that. And what's wrong?
It's a bug.
Oh, bug. She's not used to the bugs. Oh dear. All right, we'll see you on track.
He tried to eat me.
Ready for another day?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're leaving camp. We're all set up and we're going. So just out of camp, this is where we came from yesterday. Balumba Creek, day use area, 11 k's. See, 11 k's. Woody 12.8, that's what the map said. Interesting. It's badly wrong. But Tollerwood camp, 17 k's. That's our track for today. So off we go. Oh, that's the track now. So we're 1k into it. Pretty much in a downward direction. Not much climbing going on at the moment. And very treed up. We've just walked into a fairly dark spot. It's sort of like really deep rainforesty area. It's almost hard to see. Well, here's come to dark spot now. It's almost hard to see. Where are you going? Well, not quite, but yeah, it is very dark here. Lots of leaves on the ground. And quite cool as well. So it's not even 2k's into it yet. Not quite. And I'm guessing that we're going to see some changing landscapes today. Look at that beautiful spot. All rainforest. Obviously when it rains there's a bit of a creek that goes through here. But yeah, really nice spot. The water must rush down from up there. Very cool in here. Some amazing trees here. We've just come across this one. check it out. Yep, still going through this heavy rainforest. Been going on for quite a while now. Beautiful spot to walk though, so cool. Definitely no climbing, pretty much flat.
It's a waterfall.
It could be. Joe reckons you can hear a waterfall.
Is it wind?
Must be wind. And here's another washout. Must be some pretty major water comes down here when it rains. Look at it. I would suggest for anyone attempting this track, do not do when heavy rains are forecast. It's a very difficult track to do. I don't think you get very far. And there's some major logs here. Must be from the old logging days, I'd say. Look at that. They've obviously been cut down, but no one's taken them. Who knows how many years they've been here for. Look at that. It's massive logs. Look at that. Well, they used to do logging around these areas as well.
How did you get here with the truck?
I don't know.
Look at that.
That's a big log. Yeah, it's pretty big. There's the continuation of it.
Look at that massive gum tree.
Yeah. There's the sort of things. Oh, that gum tree. Supposed to loggers, it's like gold, right? So the only thing missing in this spot is Tarzan. Where is he? What a beautiful spot to come to. Track's pretty rocky here.
While you're filming.
And you just got to be careful where you're walking and how you're walking. It's pretty steep here too. And with weight on, obviously you've got to be relatively careful. It's hard to see steepness on a video, but I'm holding that flat, so Joe's just disappeared. So she's only a few metres away from me. Oh, it is steep. This is what I mean by not doing the track when it's raining. We're obviously in the middle of a creek. You can see how far it's washed out up the banks. If it was raining full on, you got no chance. This whole area we're walking through would be underwater. Well and truly. You'd have no hope. So yes, don't do this when it is raining. Well, we're coming up to a sign. So we're 3.1 k's into it. Great Walks. This must be a fire access trail, I'd say. Great Walk that way, so we know where we're going. Hollywood Walkers Camp, 14 k's. They're out by 100 metres according to me. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Ready to go?
Yep.
Taking a rest.
Shoulders sore a bit.
Okay.
We didn't eat enough last night.
Why?
The backpack's too heavy still.
Tonight we'll eat more. We're walking down the fire trail, so we can actually walk together for a change.
Looking at the camera though.
Why not?
Trip.
Okay. If you do trip, it'll be a great YouTube moment. We've got a phone stop. So the phone does work in very limited spaces here. We've both got Telstra services, so I'm not sure about Optus or Vodafone. I'm suspecting you won't get anything with those. But your phone comes alive every now and again. It came alive once yesterday. And we've just hit a spot. There's a, you won't see it through there, but if you look through the trees hard enough, we're up pretty high. So obviously we've picked up a signal. And so if you do have a Telstra phone, certainly bring along with you. You'll be able to use it at some spots on the track. Apart from that, we're continuing down this fire trail. Very nice walk. Well, we've come to the end of this road, fire trail, whatever, but it looks like we're running into another one. And there's our sign. Great Walks, Tollerwood Camp, 13.3 k's. Another highway, so to speak. Well, this road, each walk has got their own lane. Check it out. Beautiful forest though. So there's obviously some very well used fire trails here, as this one is. There's grass everywhere except for the tyres, so I'm guessing maybe this is one of the access routes to service the camp somehow or something. I don't know. I don't really feel like stopping and looking at the map to find out, but certainly a very easy walk through here. So that looks like the end of our fire trail walking. There's a sign turn right here, and as much as that looks very inviting, who knows where that goes to. But the Great Walk comes back onto track here. Let's have a look at what the damage is. There we go. Tollerwood Walkers Camp, 12.5 k's, and that's where we're going. So we've got a sign here. Track's well marked, but it's in a fairly much an upward direction. So I've been going up for the last couple of k's, I suppose, or so, since we've left that fire trail. So that's as per the topographical map. After lunch we'll go in a general downward direction. But until we get to that spot, up we have to go. Well, that was a fairly decent climb. Joe's pretty happy we're on top. So I'm not sure whether this is the spot where we start heading in a general downward direction, but certainly this climb was pretty full on. It steady upward direction since that last sign. So we're up to now 6.18 k's for the trip. So we've passed the 1/3 mark. There we go. We've come up this mountain here, nice and steep climb, and come up to what looks maybe like another fire trail. Tollerwood 10.4 k's. I've got 7.11 on my watch, so we're out by 500 metres, again something like that. But that's where we're going. It's still an upward direction though, so the switch over should be coming soon, somewhere around here according to my calculations. How are you feeling, Joe?
We're going downwards, right?
I hope soon. So we're coming up to a sign. Now on my watch I've got 8.51 kilometres. We haven't deviated off the track anywhere. So this should say 8.5 k's. It says 9.1. So there's the track that we're going up. Still going up the fire road. That's where we come from. There's been a bit of climbing up this fire road. It's a very easy track to walk though. So, but we're out by 600 metres. I don't know, I can't work it out. Anyway, in the end yesterday it all sort of worked out, but I don't know how they get their measurements or whether my watch is wrong. Beautiful walk though, very rainforesty. A lot of canopy. You won't see too much sun on this walk, that's for sure. Time for lunch. Joe's giving the feet a bit of a break. Rest the feet. Got some food with us. We're probably, well, we're more than halfway. 9.25 according to the watch. These chia seed things, they look quite good. There's nothing bad in them actually. It's all pretty much chia seeds and almond milk and there we go, filtered water, almond milk. I suppose the only questionable coconut sugar's okay. KKO. Gel, chia seed gel, that's absolutely fine. Almond milk. Almond pastel, I'm not sure about that. I'll look that up and see what the heck that is. Yep, that's lunch. And some nuts. Nuts are always good for energy. Chia seeds and nuts are fantastic. Yep, lunch is done and dusted. You're going the wrong way. We've got to go that way, up the hill, not down the hill.
The fly just went up my nose.
Oh no.
Did you see it? You missed it.
Oh, we'll see on the video. But yep, lunch is done and dusted. We've got less than halfway to go now. So we've done 9.25 k's and it's 17 all up. So as far as distance goes, we're on the downhill run now. The fire trail, the sign to tell us we're on the right track. Great Walks. Still going in upward direction. I was expecting that we were going to be going downhill, but it must be happening here somewhere now. So it's a fairly lengthy climb. Most of this track, once you get through that first initial rainforest, is heading up. So this is it. We've definitely gone across the high point. There might be still rises and whatever in the track, but generally speaking, this will be downward heading now. So it's all downhill to home from here. It's nice to have the easy part of the track at the end of the walk, in a way. Now the thing is, if you do the track in reverse, then what you end up with is a situation where for the longer part of the journey you're climbing, but you don't have that severe climb at the start that we had yesterday, which was that category 4 track. But yeah, it's the pace should increase from here on in overall, because there'll be a lot less ups and much more downs. Still very canopy like. There's a bit of sun shining through. We're still walking down the fire trail. But it's a fairly long walk of car type tracks on the second leg of this journey. That's where we've just come from, the Mount Gerald Trail. There it is. And now we're coming up to this bit here. So that was all track, like car track walking. And what have we got here, Joe?
Saying 3.9.
3.9 k's straight up down there. So the car thing veers off there. It looks like we might be back on a track. 3.9. I've got 14.33 on my watch. So I don't know. It's not right. So we've walked probably 100 metres from that T intersection. We come up to this. 3.7 k's. I'm not sure that we did 200 metres, but anyway, I didn't look properly. And Tollywood Walkers Camp up into track. So it looks like we're finally off the road. The roads, the trails. But there's a lot of walking on trails on this section. Also, I'll just make the one comment. There's no touristy things to see here. It's just a track. So if you're thinking where to plan lunch, plan to find a nice spot where you can sit down and have lunch, but there's no waterfalls or views or anything like that to see. It is just a track. So, home stretch, here we come. Yep, straight off the road and straight into this beautiful, luscious rainforest. So much nicer walking off the roads. It's nice on the roads, easy walks, but this is what you really come and do the hiking for, not the roads. Certainly a nice track. all the way downhill, pretty much into camp, I'd say. But really nice trek through the rainforest. We'll see how the kilometres pan out and try and make sense of it when we get back, but something's not adding up again. I'm almost thinking that it's on the map, but then it said 17 k's when we left this morning on the post. But according to my watch, if the last marker was right, it'll be 18.5. So my watch measures by GPS, so I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, this is a nice easy walk, really nice, beautiful, beautiful palms. Really easy downhill. It's quite steep down there. It's just the track's cut nicely into the mountain. Really beautiful. Nice and full too. Lovely walk. And that last video was only like 3 minutes back. Still on the same track, but it's a lot warmer. So we must have gone around the mountain or something, I'd say, because it sort of turns around the mountain. But it's amazing how you can have that variation in temperature. A lot warmer on this side. So the other side had this coolness to it. Still dropping in a downward direction. Long downhill run. Alright, well, in 50 metres, less now actually, what have we got? Yeah, 50 metres, we should see our camp site, according to the Apple iWatch calculations. So, I don't think it's going to be here somehow. Be travelling a little bit further, we'll see how much. Alright, 17 k's. This must be camp. They've thrown the logs away. I don't know. Maybe we should ring them, Joe, and say, we've walked 17 k's, there's no camp, can you bring it to us? What do you reckon?
Good try.
Alright, let's keep going, see how far we've got to go. The track towards camp seems to open up. It's a lot wider than that rainforest walk. Certainly not rainforest anymore here. So that's changed. A little bit warmer. So camp can't be too far away. According to their last sign, about a K. So this is what it's like. Well, we've come to a point. 17.88 k's. We've got the road trail going up that way and we've got a trail going that way. Walking track, a bit of a road track. So what do we do?
I'm thinking it's a hike, so let's do the hike trail.
I'm thinking they use that as a car entry point to clean up the camp. That's what I'm thinking. But it might go to the same place. But they should really have the sign. So I'm assuming if they don't have a sign, it goes to the same spot. What do you reckon? I reckon that goes around there and then comes back up, maybe, or that comes down to the track.
I don't know, one way to find out. You go that way, I'll go this way.
No, we're not doing that.
Well, I'm going that way.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Happy wife, happy life. So we've got a sign here. And it looks like this is the road that we left. Yep, definitely. So if you're at that intersection wondering, what on earth do I do? Really? It doesn't matter, it's the same thing. So there we go. Now, we're actually 18 k's now, according to my watch. Which means, according to their calculations, it's 500 metres from the last sign. Which, by the way, signs don't add up to the right kilometres. Anyway, there's another sign here. Signs everywhere. Let's have a look and see what this one says. Alright, oh, here we go. Tullerwood Walkers Camp left. 3.5 k's, Joe. 500 metres it says.
Liars.
Well, with 100 metres to go to get to camp, we've got some sightings here. So I'd say this is where we go tomorrow. Peters Falls. Yep, 1.4 k's. We're sort of thinking we might have a breakfast there rather than camp. And Sumner Falls 15.2 kilometres, which is our last night. So, and we have this little track here. We're here, Tullerwood Walkers Camp. As with every camp, there's a little hill to get to the campsites. They do that on purpose. Alright, let's go.
So our 17 kilometre hike turned into a nearly 19 kilometres.
Yeah.
Peter Dembitsky sort these maps out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's something badly wrong. Anyway, we're here. Let's go set up camp, hey? Here's the loo with the water tank. Here's a sign to say, congratulations, you have arrived at the bustling township of Tullerwood Walkers Camp. There we go. Now we've got to find our campsite. So, there's no one here except for us tonight. Last night we had a group of school kids. You want me to go have a look?
Quick, before I put my pack down.
Alright. Okay, well, camp is pretty much done. We're just sorting our other bits and pieces out. Zoe's nursing her feet, whatever. 18.5 k's. The next 15-20 minutes we'll be cooking up a dinner. But it's nice to have a good place to sleep. I'll show you our setup later. So, this is what we find with our water. Here's the water tank. Right next to the loo there, it collects rainwater. It's dripping. Now when you come to these places you assume that you're going to have plenty of water. It looks rather brownish. So this is definitely a boil job. And what we'll do is we'll use our remaining water as most of our drinking water. There's a waterfall 1.5 k's from here tomorrow. We'll fill up our drinking water there and drop some tablets in to sterilise it. It'll probably be better than this tank water. But yeah, you know, you assume that you're going to have water. It's not always the case. So just a word of warning. First camp had plenty of water, but this one is another story. We'll have a look if it smells in a minute. Now I did tell you yesterday that I'm going to show you what a personal locator beacon looks like. This is it there. That's what it is. The way it works is that there's an antenna on here which you release like so, and it pops up like that. And so once this is activated, it transmits your location through the satellite system. There is a rescue centre in Canberra. This is actually registered on their website, the serial number of it. And on the website we've also put in the exact trip that we're doing, when we're going to be at which camp. Now I'm just going to press the test button for you. So that's the test button. It'll flash. There you go. Now this power button up here, once I've pressed it for more than 1 second, this is active and they're coming to find you. So, and they know your exact location. So you know how on the news you see that people have gotten lost and they can't find them for days? This solves the problem. And on this particular track, if you're lost here and you don't have one of these and they come and find you, you pay for the rescue. If you've got one, there's no issues, but they're a great idea. Anyone going out into the open, doing what we're doing should have one of these just in case. I've also got it pinned to the top of my backpack, so just in case of a dire emergency where something's happening really quick, you don't have to dig through your backpack, you just know that that's the clip. That's where the personal locator beacon is. Very important to have one, so there you go. If you're going out doing the outback thing, make sure you got one of these.
This is an interview with Peter Pratt. How are you enjoying your hike so far?
Very good. I'm very impressed with Jo. Jo has been unbelievable. I thought she's going to be complaining, but she's powered on. 18.5 k's today. Fantastic, you know. It was a long walk. There was a little bit of climbing. The end part was pretty much downhill, but still 18.5 k's is a long way to walk. So,
what have you got there behind you?
Where? That's a tent.
Yeah, what's in the tent?
Beds. Is that where you want to go?
Pete's been really good. He set up the beds, put up the tent.
Yeah.
Even did some of the cooking. I can't believe it. I must do this more often. And you're about to start the fire for me, aren't you?
Well, the stove.
We got a bit of a problem today. Don't mind the toilet paper, but right next to the toilet paper is our water, drinking water from our tank today. You can see it's looking pretty yuck. I don't know if we're going to be using it or try boiling it. Lucky we've got some water left over in our bladder in the packs, so we can use that for emergency for tonight and tomorrow. But hopefully there's fresh water tomorrow. We're actually going to hit one of the springs tomorrow, a nice waterfall, so hopefully we can fill up there. Anyway, that's it for me. Oh, and yes, there is internet here and phone service.
So this is how you put one of these MSR stoves on. They are really good stoves. So I've pumped that bottle up. It's got shellite in it. You loosen that, you open up the shellite from there. And then what happens is it actually pumps a little bit of shellite into the stove. So, I don't know if you can see that, probably not. Fill it up a little bit. Yeah, you can see that there's fuel in there. And then the next step is to light the fuel. Like so. So the next step is that it all warms up. And as it gets hot in that tube there, the shellite vaporizes into gas. And when this thing gets going, it sounds like a jet. You're actually burning with gas. It's already warming up. There we go. There we go. So, falafels and rice today. What sort of rice is that, though?
Quinoa and rice.
Quinoa and rice. That's nice. Nice and hot.
Gonna eat it in there or in this?
Yeah. There we go. Steaming hot. Smells good too. And we've got some falafels. Steaming hot.
Steamed falafels. After that.
And that's how we warm the rice up. In that water that we didn't like. The rice just sits in there and we warm it up.
There you go.
And there we go.
Bon
Dinner
appetit.
is served. Look at that. Got a possum.
Our first visitor.
Scavenging around. The dawn of day 3, already starting to slowly get going. Tollerwood campground, I suppose that's why they call it a Tollerwood. They are tall. Alright. And today we've got a 15k journey in front of us. but we've decided to have brekkie at Peters Falls. Joe's going to attempt eating. I think you've got to take it off. How are you feeling after night 2?
Yeah, fine.
Day 3, you start feeling strong. All the aches and pains seem to go. And you're ready to go.
Yeah, I haven't even washed my face yet, so don't feel me.
Yeah. Stopping at Peters Falls for brekkie. What's in those bars? Are they healthy?
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
Healthiest ones I could find.
Okay.
Almonds and chia and coconut syrup.
They're actually hard to find, healthy bars. Almost impossible.
These ones are called good food for health. They were in the health food section. They've actually got fairly good ingredients.
Tollywood, see you later. Bit of a downer, no water here. So we've decided to go to a place called Peters Falls. Really important place, by the way, Peters Falls. It's the most important place of the whole walk. And we're going to have brekkie there. But it's pretty cold today, so we've got our fleecies and jackets on. We'll see how we go. We'll warm up as we're going, but it's only 1.4 k's to Peters Falls, so let's go.
See you later, crazy possums. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the possums last night were out of control. They were nuts.
They ate all our rubbish, so we don't have much to carry, so it's one good thing.
Yeah, possums. All right, off we go. Just walking out of camp. There's the signpost. One Guy Walker's Camp, 17k, 18.5 thank you. And Peters Falls, which is where we're going, 1.4 k's. And Sumner Falls, Walker's Camp, 15.2. So I'm starting my watch now. We'll see how we go today. Okay, so we're coming up to a sign. Let's have a look and see what it says. Good how they've got all the signs here. Sumner Falls, 14.9. And I've done it 400 metres on my watch. Doesn't add up already. See, something wrong. Alright, going the right way. Sumner Falls, here we come. Certainly straight down to the falls. There's not much climbing here. There's one little hill. But that was about it. I think we're going down, down, down. The waterfalls. The wind stopped here, so a little bit more sheltered here. So, very easy walk down to the falls. See if we can find a really good spot for brekkie down here. Might be the thing to do, walking this way, rather than having brekkie at the camp. We'll see.
What do I say? I'm gonna film the back of Pete now for a while, but I've also got to watch where I'm going, so excuse my wonky filming. So there's the man himself, leading the pack. Me little duck following him, going down to have brekkie at the falls for a change. Should be nice. He's got his warm pants on today because it was a bit fresh near the camp, but I think we checked it was 15 degrees, so that's not that cold, but it's cool enough for summer. I think when we do the Mount Kosciuszko walk, we're going to have to get some warmer gear to wear. Other than that, this is pretty good. Nice little track through the bush. Can't really get lost. You can see it's been well carved out by whoever was here before us. So yeah, that's about it from me.
someone would have been bleeding. It was a totally grown person. That's about a size 12. And runners, look at that. It's miles away from anywhere. Right, so back to civilization. You've got 22 k's that way. It's further the other way. So 22 k's to get back to. Well, you can't even walk there because it's all four-wheel drive and dirt roads. But someone had a hard time. Do not come out here with runners. You need hiking boots like these, or something like that. Proper boots. They're not cheap. These are 400 bucks. They were on special, so a little bit less, but they're in the same category. But
I charge a lot for modelling.
yeah, okay. But that's what you need boots for, so that you're not stuck like this poor dude was. And you spend little on equipment and you're out here and then it breaks down. Good luck. Next sign. So.
Falls, 200 metres.
Their things are wrong. Peters Falls and Sumner Falls. So we're actually going to divert here. Okay, so we're just walking to the falls area. Steep descent, about 150 metres. And they've got to suss it out. Wow. Look at that.
We're going this way.
Oh, the track goes this way, so we're going this way. This is Joe going to explore.
So we're being adventurous today. We've got the burner going near Peters Falls, but I'd hate to say Peters Falls are a bit of a disappointment because they're not the big falls we saw. They're a little there, and there's another one further up that we can't see at the moment. But anyway, we're making do with what we've got. So Pete's just collecting some water that he just washed his hands in. Could be a problem.
A bit on the dirty side.
Don't fall. Sounds alright. I'm trying to find some fresh water somewhere. We'll boil the beauties out of it. Hopefully it'll be alright to drink. Only one way to find out. Let's compare this water to what we had last night. Oh wow, that's much better. Happy?
Sure are. We got somewhere to sit on.
Yeah, we blew up one of our mats. So we're going to sit on that so we don't have to have a cold bum from sitting on the rocks.
Breakfast is almost done. So the two adventurers are having some brekkie. There we go. Look at that. How is it, Joe?
Good.
Excellent. And we've got our stove going in the background for our hot chocolate. Part of Peters Falls. It was a great place for brekkie, but up and onward. What a lovely spot. It's a long way down there. I reckon there might be a waterfall beyond that. And there we go, we made the climb. I thought it was longer for some reason. Sumner Falls, 14 k's. With all the walking around and everything else, I've got 2.24 on my watch. Hollywood, 1.2. Lucky there's some water in this section because you can fill up with water. Just got to make sure it's sanitised. So there you go, and that's the way we're going. So 14 k's, which would make 15. It by my watch.
15 on your watch.
Just walked into the most wonderful rainforest. Really cool. leaves down the bottom are really big, really dense coverage. Certainly not much sun getting through here. Very much a rainforest walk. Really nice. It's just past Peters Falls. This is what you encounter. Just so that you know, most of yesterday on the road track there was mobile phone coverage, and Tollerwood there we had mobile phone coverage. That was with Telstra. I don't know about the others, I doubt it, but with Telstra certainly did. But now that we've actually come down to Peters Falls, there's no mobile phone coverage. So day 2, most of the day you could do things. This tree, unbelievable. And then it disappears somewhere up there, you can't even see the end of it. There's a little bit of a climb now on the down thing. Overall it'll be down today. Very much still a rainforest feel, really nice. So this is about a K past the turn off to Peters Falls, I suppose. Through this beautiful rainforest walk we finally come to another creek.
Here we go.
Great walk, so we have to cross the creek. There we go. A lot of water up there, sitting there.
We've done 2.2 k's from camp.
2.2 k's from camp, but reckons okay. Whatever. Here comes the creek crossing. It's not a big deal. The water's trickling here at the moment, but like I said, I'd hate to be doing this when it's full on raining. Forget it. There's a really nice pool. You could walk down there and go for a swim if it's really hot. That's really nice. From that creek is a fairly decent climb. I think if you look at the topographic maps, it's fairly well marked. It's pretty much straight up. So it's really the only big one for the day. It happens pretty early on in the piece, which is nice. Yeah, we've come to a spot we're pretty much walking right on the ridge, so that's down there, up there, that's down there. So we're right on top of the ridge here. Pity it's all bushed in so you can't see no views, but anyway, we are on the ridge. Right. Okay, while we're walking on this ridge we finally get to another sign. Sumner Falls, Walkers Camp, 11.61 k's. So, there we go. Then the track heads down. Once you climb up on the ridge it's actually quite easy going, nothing hard about it. So we're going to keep moving. So I've just come to another sign. The track opens up to that, so it's sort of big enough for a car, but it's a little bit overgrown. But now we come to what looks like another fire access road, and Sumner Falls Walkers Camp, 9.7 k's. So coming this way, this fire access road is really steep. It's actually hard to walk down. That's how steep it is, but it comes down to the bottom here. So if you're carrying a heavy backpack, it's actually hard to come down. Yep, we come to a creek on this track, fire access road, whatever. Again, it's fine now, but if it rains here, forget it. We've got water coming down there to contend with, going down that way. So it's even muddy now actually. Funnily enough, they got steps for walkers here. We missed them all. And we're going back up this way. Okay, still walking down the fire track. Probably another kilometre or so. And we come to this. This is the second pickup spot, hey? That's what it is. We need to get out. This is the spot. Vehicles are not permitted on this track beyond this point without written authority. Yeah, definitely a fire track. And look at this. Main road. Oh, it's a dirt road. It's a main road. Let's have a look at our post here. Summer Falls Camp. 9 kilometres. Right across the main road is our track. There we go. There we go. Now, Joe, before you cross, look to the left, look to the right, and look to the left again.
Nothing coming.
Alright. It's funny how things stick with you when you're a kid and you learn them. Track continues, really easy track to walk. Gently sloping down, which is sort of what we're expecting. Dug into the side of the mountain. Yeah, nice and easy. Nothing hard about this part of the walk. This track sort of has come to a little bit of an end. It's opening up here. Summer Falls, Orcas Camp, 6.4 k's. And it looks like a little bit of an access road, not quite. That fire access trail very, very quickly turns into this, so it's not really a fire access trail. I didn't quite understand why it was so wide down there. Maybe you can use it from the other side. We're still going down this track, very easy track, very easy to walk. It's downhill pretty much all the way. And there's a log across the track and someone's cut that in there, look at that. Nice job. The track is pretty much like this, very nice, pretty much covered, not much sun. It's probably the first sun we've seen for a while. We're walking into the shade again. A very easy part of the walk. We are slowly descending into a valley, very rainforesty here, cool. It's downhill all the way, long downhill stretch. And this is what we planned when we planned this walk, that we'll do the uphill stretches first up and then have an easy walk at the end of it, and that's exactly what it's turning out to be. But beautiful area. Such lovely rainforest, luscious and green. The air here is unbelievable. The coolness is fantastic. Really nice. And there's a creek. So I'm sure we'll have a little bit of a climb, but there we go, another creek. We've climbed up from the creek. It's a long way down here. But then we've got these beautiful rocks up there through the trees. It's a really beautiful part of the track to walk through. Really nice. I think we've come to another creek crossing. Really cool down here again.
Could have had our nuts here.
Yeah, we had just had a couple of handfuls of nuts to keep us going. We're not really having a proper lunch. We'll do dinner at camp. We had that late breakfast. Yeah, there's the track across the other side. Alright, let's go. Just across the creek. That one nice enough to put an arrow there. According to my watch, we're about 3 k's away, give or take. So that's where we're at now. A few minutes down the road, another creek. Look at that. There's an arrow up on the tree there.
Something in there.
There's something in there, Joe reckons. Do you really want to find out? Not really.
I ain't coming.
There's the arrow. Just past the creek, climbing the bank, you find this tree, check it out, the root system's been ripped out. far out. You'd hate to be in the way of that falling down. It's massive. It's the root system from the back. It's just been ripped out. Probably with a lot of rain and wind. The tree couldn't take it anymore. Went over. The track has been wonderfully easy. There was a little bit of a climb from that creek past those roots, and it's downward again. There's a sign here that says go straight. Not up there, of course. According to my calculations, we're about 2 k's away from camp. So certainly today has been quite a leisurely, easy, enjoyable walk. We've done a lot of talking along the track, which has been wonderful. What a way to enjoy a break out in the nature, fresh air, good company, exercise, fantastic. Couldn't ask for more. Fairly steep descent here into the creek down there, I'm assuming. So we are about a bit away from camp now. Another small creek. It's a small one, probably impassable when it's raining. And then up very much into the rainforest. Once you get down into the creeks, it's absolutely beautiful. That little creek, you got a fairly decent climb. I don't know how long was it, 300 metres? Something like that. Pretty much straight up. So that was a good climb. Now we go up that. According to my watch, we're sort of about 1 kilometre from camp. So I'm guessing the camp will be up a little bit higher. Hey, after that climb, we get to this spot. Joe's saying what?
Still saying 2 k's.
That's crazy. There's something badly wrong with their Ks.
We're going to do 20 k's today.
Don't even talk about it. No, there's something badly wrong. They've got their kilometres wrong. Anyway, here's another row. Look to the left, look to the right, and look to the left again, and then cross. I don't know what this road is. That was a surprise, because camp should be almost here. It's not possible that my watch is out by 2.1 k's, sorry. Not when it's working off the GPS. So anybody doing this track, take the distances with a grain of salt. Don't rely on them, give yourselves a bit more time. That's all I can say. Okay, we've come to this spot, check out this log. Tree's obviously given up the ghost, and they've cut the passage through the track. It's only recent because there's still sawdust on the ground here.
Just want to make sure it's not moving.
Pretty big. Jay takes a runner.
Nice burning wood.
Yeah, nice burning wood. Pity you're not allowed to have wood fires, but would you carry that anywhere? Well, we've just clocked 16 k's. Now we should have had camp back a few metres according to my previous calculations. So according to their calculations, should be 900 metres to camp. Let's see if they're right or not. I try and give up with them after a while. I reckon I might write to them and say what's going on with these distances of yours. You need to recalculate it all. The funny thing is now that today we have the technology where the average person can check all these things very easily. Couldn't do that in the past, I suppose. Anyway, we'll show you what walking into camp is like whenever we get to it. We're pretty high up, but down the bottom there is water. We're walking along this track here. It's like that, cutting to the mountain. Very close to camp. According to my calculations, should be almost walking into it. Alright, let's have a look. It's 150 metres, I reckon. Off we go. Danger, danger, unstable cliffs. Look at that guy falling off the cliff. Wow. Okay. Looks like we have something here. Great Walks. Summer Falls. Camp 75 metres this way. Joe said this is like opening a Christmas present every day. You don't know what you're going to get. Here we go. Walk across here. And no fires, whatever. There's a picture of a tent, that's a good sign. Walkers camp. We're here. Where do you want to camp, darling?
Right on the tree.
Okay, let's go find a camp spot. This camp is very nice and luscious and green. Wow. It's the nicest camp out of the lot, I think. There's the water tank and amenities. Hopefully we've got water this time. We'll see. There's like a fireplace.
Maybe we could have a little fire.
Maybe. And fire's not allowed, apparently. That's nice. Oh, look at this. They've even got a little seat here. Wow. So we are resting. The sleeping bags are on the little tables that they provide, which are great. I'm lying down looking up at that. Oh dear. That's tall. And this is where our camp's going tonight. Just there. There is an old fireplace there, which would be interesting. Very green and luscious here. This is actually the nicest camping spot out of the lot. Summer Falls, ladies and gentlemen. This is the premium location. Well, so there we are. Camp is set up. We've pitched the tent. We're leaving our backpacks here. We're going to go down to the waterfalls and see if we can get some sun before it goes down. When we come back, we're going to have a nice dinner. We're going to make this a very special night. Tonight being our last night. We don't have a long way to go tomorrow, but anyway, we shall see. But we're going to certainly enjoy this last night. Nice having good equipment. Like I said, my previous expedition expect tent. Don't ever skim on equipment, I reckon. It's not worth it. If you've got good equipment, like the stove and the tent and the sleeping bags. Oh, I have to show you my sleeping bag setup and Joanne's sleeping bag setup tonight. If you've got good equipment, good boots, good everything, everything becomes fun. Even though it's physically demanding, everything seems to be quite easy because everything is done the right way. There's no trying to figure stuff out and make things work. Certainly worthwhile spending the extra few dollars on everything that you do. So, off we go to the waterfalls. Just also for anyone else doing this trek, I would make sure that you also bring some of that stuff with you, because two of the camps didn't have any of this stuff. There you go, there's the sign for the camp. So this was a state forest. Prior to becoming a national park, this area was a state forest. There you go. It's highly protected now, being a national park. As you can see, we're very close today. So this is the top of Summer Falls. We're going to put our feet in here, but the falls are actually way past there. And it wasn't Peter's Falls that we saw. It was Summer Falls that we saw from the track. The other track would be on the other side of those mountains there, the other side of the valley. And then you've got the fall down below us. It's a lovely area. So, getting a bit on the chilly side, so I put my jacket on. But,
good on that.
the mat. We're going to crack the mat open, sit here. We're going to put our feet in the
Our
water.
stinky, sweaty feet.
Yeah, our tired feet.
Nice platform there as well.
What are you going to do from there? Dive?
No, you could lie down there and sleep.
Wonderful mats, these mats. Self-inflating. You can hear it sucking the air in. Doesn't leave you a lot to blow up once it self-inflates. It's nothing like putting your feet in the water. Oh, mate. Oh, that feels good. Oh. Tonight we've got a 3-course meal, so soup. I'll give you a rundown of what's coming for seconds, and then we've got dessert. That's pretty cool, huh? Okay, so I said I'd show you our sleeping bag setup. So I've got a Kathmandu. Joe's got a Marmot bag, both in the same category. They're not cheapest bags. They're super down, but they certainly keep you nice and warm. If it's really hot on a night, you can unzip it all the way down to the toes and just flip it open. But what we discovered, we got these blow-up pillows, right? And they sort of fit in the hoodie there. And they stay put once they're in the hoodie. And they are fantastic, very, very light to carry. So that's a really good addition to the sleeping bag. There you go. And of course what goes in underneath the bag is very important. So these are the self-inflating mats. This one's a Kathmandu, Joe's got a different one. 3-season use. 4-season ones are the fully blow-up ones, which are, they say they're a bit noisy when you're using them because they're hollow. So that's why I opted for these ones. You deflate them, roll them up, so when you unroll them, they inflate to a certain point, then you have to use your mouth to blow it up, but it's not a lot. It's amazing how something so thin can keep you off the ground so well. But very important part of having a good experience. One other thing that's really important out here, you're going to have some rubbish, right? If you have the rubbish around the tent, the animals are going to come to where the rubbish is. If you have open food in the tent, they will actually come into your tent when you're sleeping. The mice and stuff will chew through your tent, so don't ever do that. So we just put the rubbish aside, we let the animals lick it all out, whatever. The next morning, we collect it all back up again and take it with us. That way, if it's away from the tent, you've got no issues. So there you go, all Ziploc bag, rubbish done. Okay, last brekkie coming up. And then we're doing our push home. Almost packed up. The tent's just got to be folded down. And we'll be on our way home. What have we got for brekkie today? Can you tell people what you put in there?
Rolled oats, plain rolled oats, and whatever nuts you have at home and whatever dried fruit you have. So I had some dates and prunes,
Chia seeds as
and
well.
walnuts and almonds, some chia seeds, and that's it.
Beautiful. Alright, well that was the last night. We're all packed up, ready to roll. Ready, Joe?
Yep.
So we got about 12 k's and we're at the car. The push home. Really nice campground here. Loved it. Look at that. Nice and green. Very, very high mountains up there. So there's the sign. Yep, but we go to Mount Allen Fire Tower first. So it's really nice there. Great views. So 10.4 k's. I've got 97 metres, so 10.5 by the watch we should be there. But as with previous days, I doubt it. The map did say 12 k's from here to the day use area. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe they made a new track since the map was done, who knows? Cut a bit of the walk. Leaving camp, just as you climb out, you have this. And that's the way we're going. So off we go. There's the water and the creek. Should be pretty much a downhill run today according to topographical maps. So we'll have most of the day downhill. I'm glad it's still up. I'm sure it'll change very, very quickly. Bit of a steepish climb out of camp. Within a kilometre you're pretty much on flat land. Traversing across that really high mountain that I was pointing out. Camp's down there behind us somewhere, right down low. And nice easy walk from here. Well, this part of it anyway. So we made it to the top. The climb out of camp is just over a kilometre. You end up on this ridge right on top. You can see towards the right is a drop, towards the left is a drop. And we've got some views through the trees, which is really nice, because most of this walk is pretty much under canopy, so it opens up a little bit here, which is nice. And hopefully we'll have a bit of a ridge walk now. So on top of the ridge eventually, well, in a short space of time, like 500 metres or something, the road opens up to like a access road. So that's what we're tracking now. Yeah, we met our first human, a jogger, believe it or not. Must have jogged from the day area. I reckon he might be getting picked up one of those roads we crossed yesterday. Or he'll go down to camp and run back up. Still walking along the ridge, still the road. Just came across a different sign first time. There must be bees here, check it out. Just up from the sign with the bees, we've got another sign here and the track splits by the looks of it. Something happens here. Ah, okay. So that must be a fire access road, and now we're going down a walking track, 4.5 to the Mount Allen Fire Tower, and 7.9 k's back to the car. And watch out for vehicles on the road, so that must be a truck as well. Okay, there we go. It's the fire access there. Oh, there's another sign across the thing, so we're crossing the fire track, whatever. And what have we got here? This is where we're going, so this is how all of that works. Very well marked, can't go wrong. We're off the fire trail. I call those fire access roads tracking for couples who can walk together. Now we've got to walk in a single file. What I thought might be like a fire trail, access trail. It's not. It looks like just a wider track. So now we've come to a pretty major intersection or something here. Now let's have a look. Mount Allen Fire Tower 2.8, 6.2 to where we're going. There's like a major road here. So, forest trail. Oh, here we go. This answers our question, where the big poos come from. Horse riding is permitted only on designated forest trails. There you go. No horse riding on the road. No horse riding on that road. So you've got to come with the trailer with horses or something here. Or through there, I suppose. because that's where we're going. So this could potentially be another pickup point, hey?
Why don't they? Are there horses on the road?
You want to ring for help now? Help! Someone come and pick us up.
Management vehicles only. There you go.
Yeah. Management vehicles only. There we go. 2.8 k's to the fire tower. And we're going to have a drink here. I'm imagining that we're going to have this sort of walk all the way to the fire tower, maybe. Pretty close to it, I don't know. But this is certainly a road walk, this one. Beautiful parrots here, you can't see them on the video, but very colourful. So this is what we're walking down. We're probably just a kilometre down where we turned off, where we crossed that main road. We've got some beautiful views in front of us through those trees. Very much a ridge walk today, very different to what we've done the other days. Certainly not a rainforest walk, that's for sure. Lots of sun peeking through, and we're starting to see some really nice views. The other side, those mountains, are where we came in. After walking for a long time in the open, we've just walked into this covered area again. We've gone down in elevation a little bit, and straight away you get that rainforesty feel. While walking under the canopies for a while, we've got a sign here. Mount Alexander Fire Tower and day use area 4.6k, so that's where the fire track or access road or whatever you want to call it goes. We're back into the bush here, but we're close to the fire tower, 1.2k's. Jesus, it's gone quick this walk, hasn't it? I'm getting better at this, isn't it? It's like almost over. Alright, up and onwards. The minute we're off that fire trail, we're back into a rainforest type walk. Nice and cool. You can feel the coolness in the air. So my intuition was wrong. I thought the fire trail was going to go all the way to the fire tower, but nah. We've got this still to do. If you get on this track, you can expect a decent climb up. I'm guessing we must be climbing up Mount Helen now. It's pretty much in an upward direction. So I'll see how long this lasts for. It's certainly a good workout. We've come across an incredible log. There it is, lying across the track, looking at it from this side. It's quite interesting. Another tree that's collapsed. We climb up to Mount Ellen. We're about 300 metres off the top now, still going up. Nice thing is, what comes up must go down. So we'll be doing this on the downward direction. Going up the last leg for the Mount Helen Fire Tower. And we can hear heaps of people there. We're back into civilization or something. We'll have a look and see what's going on. Very steady climb all the way up here. Basically, since you cross that dirt road, that big one, expect most of it in an upward direction. So there you go. There's the stairs to the place. Here we are, kids everywhere. Must be school groups, I'd say. Backpacks a whole lot. So, camping prohibited, of course. Well, Mount Helen Fire Tower. We're walking up it. School kids everywhere on a school excursion. Right, off we go. So, that's from the Mount Helen Fire Tower. What a beautiful view. Look at it. Joe with some of our food. I think we're going to sit down here and eat. It's a pity you can't get to the other side, because that's where we tracked up. We actually walked up that ridge there, through there, up around there, up through there, through those mountains, and back around to here.
See, we didn't go to those farms.
No, we didn't get there. Do you want to do that?
Not this time.
It's not that far, look. Just got to look across there.
See, none of them have got a...
Good.
What's down there?
Yeah. Probably Kenilworth or something. We'll stop there for lunch, walk into a restaurant, and everyone will clear out. No showers for 4 days. We're going to have a place to ourselves.
I actually don't smell too bad. I'm a bit sweaty.
Well, so you think.
Yeah, maybe. Just won't take my cap off.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe we can get an outside table.
Yeah.
Beautiful view. Worthwhile coming up here. Worthwhile the 700 metres. And now we're sitting down and having a bite to eat. It's our bars. We've actually managed to get into the fire tower. This is the map. School kid showed us how to get in. Exactly like this. Watch. There you go. Fantastic. So there's the track we did. We started off there, went all the way through there, all the way around, up through there, there. This is where we camped last night. We went and did all that. And now we're at the fire tower. And now from the fire tower, we actually go back out into the car park. There you go. Massive walk. It's going to be around 60 kilometres all the way up. So that's what it'll be. There's Joe. Heaps of school kids here still. Good on them. Beautiful views, look at that. Sensational. Really nice. That was the range that we came in on. Out there. This is that big category 4 track climb up to the top of that range. First day. Get some solar panels for this as well. So there we go. We have made it. We're almost home. Yep. Here it is, we're climbing down. Don't forget the nuts. So we're leaving Mount Helen Fire Tower behind us. And last leg of the journey, which is back to the car. All downhill now. Here we go. Balumba Creek camping and day use areas. That's us. And of course Joe has to take one track where you got to jump off cliffs and things. And she's laughing. I'm keeping it rolling just in case she has a YouTube moment.
Where are we going? There or there?
Good question. Where are we going?
We came from there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Or not? No, we came up the steps.
I don't know. Yeah, we came up the steps.
Are we going to Balumba?
We are. Yeah, we came up the steps.
Right at the end, have a map.
Back down to the signpost. We have
Balumba.
the Lumber Day Use Area, 4.2 k's. That's it. We're almost home. As expected, pretty much straight down. Very easy walk right now. I think it will be till we get to the car. She notices the funniest thing. She reckons it looks like a face on that tree. And it does. Look at that. Looks like some guy died in that tree. Kept climbing down and down and down. And we've walked into this beautiful rainforest again. Oh, the air here is so different. It's like...
Where are we going up?
We've got a little bit of an up climb, which is really unusual at this part of the walk. Not much though, I don't think. But yeah, we're back into the rainforest. And pretty much day 4 is all ridge walk, except for this last bit and the very first bit we're climbing up out of Summer Falls. Okay, so the question is, will Joe take the shortcut across the log? Go the eat, no, dipped out. Oh well. Bad luck. Well, in theory, we are now about 1 kilometre away from the car, just under, and it's pretty much been downhill all the way.
I'd hate to break my leg right on the last, last bit.
It is a bit of a shortcut though.
Where you go?
Our civilization has arrived. We actually got a bit of a bridge.
They didn't want to move this tree.
Yeah, they conserved this wonderful tree. But you can tell we're pretty close to civilization. Pretty awesome tree, but look at it. Wow.
Unreal.
It is unreal. But obviously this is very much a walk that people do from when they camp down at where all the 4-wheel drives are, and they just come up here for the day to the tower and then back again. That's cool. Friends, they're waiting for the other group, 5.1 k's to the Mount Ellen Fire Tower, and the day use area is 400 metres down that way, so we got to go through there. The day use area. Yep. Yeah, that's a separate camping area. We're going to the day use area, which is where we left our car. So I hope our car's not going to be towed away or something, because we actually left it overnight.
There's a car there. I can hear it. I can see it.
We've made it.
And people.
There's people there. 200 metres to go. See the road. Excitement. 4-day hike is coming to an end. We're emerging. Our car is still there. There we go. Lumber Creek area 1.5.
Cascades, oh yeah. I didn't see
Gold
that
Mine
bit.
2.4. Strangler Can 2.8. Artist
We've already
Cascades.
got that one on the beginning.
Yep, Artist Cascades. That's where we stopped. That was 5.3 k's. That was just after that Category 4 track. So, mission complete. 60 k's. 60 k's, 4 days. Beautiful walk. We're back at the car. And who said you can't enjoy things that you haven't tried before, right? Joe, I think, liked it.
Yes.
There you go, so we're already planning the next one. And like I said at the start, what we do with our programs at the Diabetic Health Clinic, people do things for the first time ever, and they're doing things that they really didn't expect they would do. And yet, they end up enjoying it, having fun with it, it's good for them. So, never ever get yourself in a situation where you close doors. Always have an open mind. I never thought I'd be doing this, neither did Joe. And yet, we've done a major one. Wait for the next adventure.
The shower's cooling.
It is. Also, big thank you to Dan and Sarah
Thanks heaps.
for the car, with which out this hike would not be possible. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Next time you're coming with us.
Camping and not using any spoons and minimal stuff to teapots and beautiful little
In the bustling township of Kenilworth.
little